Today on Rappler. Senator Ronald Bato Dela Rosa says he plans to open a probe into former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war, which he himself implemented. A post on social media platform X falsely claims Apollo Quiboloy's cases in the United States had been dismissed. Voters in Georgia turn out in record numbers as the battleground state opens early voting for the November 5 presidential election. New Jeans member Hani makes an emotional appeal before the South Korean parliament for better treatment of the K-pop industry's artists. And the Victoria's Secret fashion show hits the runway after a 5-year hiatus. Senator Ronald Bato Dela Rosa says he plans to open a probe into former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war, which he himself implemented. This after retired Police Colonel Royina Garma directly implicated Duterte in drug war killings during a hearing by the House Quad Committee. As Duterte's first police chief, Dela Rosa authorized and oversaw the drug war's first salvo. He says there's a better chance of Duterte attending his probe because the former president is more comfortable with the Senate than with the House. Besides De La Rosa, Duterte's closest aide Bongo is also a senator, and he earlier said he would launch a Senate probe into the drug war. De La Rosa is under investigation by the International Criminal Court for alleged crimes against humanity in the drug war and in other extrajudicial killings in Davao City when Duterte was mayor. A post on social media platform X falsely claims Apollo Quiboloy's cases in the United States had been dismissed. It cites an October 10 post from the official SMNI News X account stating a US court dismissed human trafficking, forced labor, and money laundering cases against a KOJC leader. But the KOJC leader SMNI refers to is not Quiboloy but Marisa Dueñas, one of Quiboloy's co-accused in some of his cases. Dueñas entered into a plea deal on October 7 in the US. She pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud the US government in exchange for a reduction in her sentence. She has been identified as an administrator of KOJC's operations and the human resource manager in the US. The US Federal Bureau of Investigation still lists Quiboloy among its most wanted. Voters in Georgia turn out in record numbers as the battleground state opened early voting for the November 5 presidential election. State officials say Tuesday, October 15, at least 252,000 voters cast ballots at early voting sites as of 4 p.m. EDT. This is nearly double the 136,000 who participated in the first day of early voting in 2020. Georgia is one of the 7 battleground states expected to play a decisive role in the election between Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump. Early voting, either in person or by mail, has become increasingly popular with US voters. University of Florida's Election Lab reports nearly 1 in 7 voters cast their ballots ahead of Election Day in 2020. Election Lab also says nationwide, 5.5 million Americans already voted this year. But by contrast, 27 million people had cast their ballots at this point in 2020. K-pop star Hani of the group New Jeans makes an emotional appeal before the South Korean parliament for better treatment of the industry's artists. The 20-year-old Vietnamese-Australian singer tells Parliament Tuesday, October 15, she hopes K-pop trainees are spared from the workplace bullying she experienced. Complaints of high pressure and bullying have hounded the K-pop industry for years, sparking calls for companies to better protect their artists. New Jeans is in the middle of a clash between executives of its parent label Hybe and the former CEO of its subsidiary Adore, which manages the group. Hani tells the Parliament's Labor Committee a series of actions at the workplace made the group feel they were hated by the company. Adore CEO Kim Joo-young tells the hearing she is reviewing the situation but has yet to find proof to establish Hani's claims. A former Adore CEO earlier accused Hybe of sabotaging New Jeans. After over 5 years off the runway, the Victoria's Secret fashion show returns for a 2024 edition on Wednesday, October 16 Manila time in New York City. Several big names grace the fashion show, including Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, Irina Shayk, Tyra Banks, and Taylor Hill, among others. Other famed models of the brand also make a comeback on the runway. The fashion show also features an all-woman lineup of performers for the first time. South African artist Tyla, Blackpink member and solo artist Lisa, and American music icon Cher performed their hit songs on the runway. In an interview with American website Today, model Mayowa Nicholas says the 2024 edition of the major fashion show is, quote, all about celebrating women. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.